All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and right here, right now, we are live in full effect worldwide, and we got the one and only, we got Murderous T right here, live on the line. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right, man. How you doing?
Ah, man, doing best as I can possibly be, man. I gotta say, man, I'm noticing on your end, you guys are actually getting back to the shows and getting back to normal life, man. Us Canadians down here are definitely looking over the pond. Extremely jealous right now.
Yeah, it's been real nice to get some shows back. Still got some restrictions and whatnot, but we'll get back to it, man. It's nice.
But man, I know you're a busy guy, so I'm gonna dive right into this interview, man. But I want to take you back to the beginning of your career so far, man. And I have to ask first and foremost, what originally made you decide to get into the music industry initially?
Oh man, my older brothers are always super involved in the music scene. We're from Philadelphia, so it's just always kind of been around me. And then started doing poetry actually when I was younger, and then everybody started making beats, so it just came to that, and it worked out, man. It worked out, so I've been enjoying it ever since.
And when you say you actually did poetry as well back in the day, did you ever put any of those poems actually into any of your songs, or did you just keep those entirely separate?
Absolutely, absolutely. The first album I wrote was actually just a big book of slam poetry stuff. I was kind of transferred that into music, really. So, yeah, poetry's been a big part of my music influence for sure.
And also as well, man, June 20th of 2019, you actually released the phenomenal 8-track record titled BOTB, man. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this phenomenal record. And of course, where can our listeners actually stream or purchase this earlier release of yours?
Oh man, you taking it back. That's BOTB. It goes Billy on the beat. So a good friend of mine, me, we actually made that whole album at a house party, man. I met him. I pulled up. I met him. He was there playing some of my music. He was like, "Yo, I make a bunch of beats. You want to just come sit down and listen to some?" And he showed me like really we made like 15 songs, but we boiled it down to 8, and we dropped that. So yeah, and I stream everywhere. Murderous T, all cash with a dollar sign at the end. But yeah, that's one of those old ones. We had a real good time making it. I was just way late in the career. I wish the production side of things could have been better for that one. I have to go back and do it, but I really do enjoy that album. That's crazy. I didn't think we could talk about that one. That's awesome.
Hey, man, I always like doing my digging, man. My goal is to actually ask that one question that surprises an individual, man. So it looks like my mission was accomplished on that one.
Yeah, man. That was a real fun one. Real enjoyable. As a whole bunch of people in the studio, just like it really was at the house party. So it was a cool album, cool project we put together.
And also as well, man, you were actually featured on BeFrank's The Microphone Stranglers single titled Don't Breathe. I was wondering, how did yourself and BeFrank originally get connected? And of course, what was it like just working in the studio with him on that particular project?
Man, BeFrank is he's one of those OGs, man, especially over here in Salt Lake. I remember when I started getting into the music scene and trying to figure things out. I used to go to this place called Uprock, and that's where a lot of those there's a lot of OGs there. And he's been doing it for a long time. So I pulled up to the Uprock one day. They were doing one of their open mics. It's like a cipher, pretty much. He went crazy when I was younger, and then as I started to get older and put music out, started doing some shows together. And from there, we became pretty good friends, man. Shout out to Frank. And for real, he really wanted me on that. And I'm happy to have been. It's a cool song, man. I mess with it.
And I have to ask, man, do you guys actually have any new projects currently in the works? Because I gotta say, you guys had such phenomenal chemistry on that joint.
We do. We have a few songs coming up. He's gonna be on the next project I do, as well as we're probably gonna do a couple other singles, just me and him. But yeah, I really like that one, and he's real easy to work with, man. His work ethic's crazy, and he's trying to get with everybody in the lake. I like how he connects the dots.
And also as well, man, January of 2021, you actually released a phenomenal music video for your song titled Boogeyman Sway. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about this particular release, and of course, what was it like working with producer Billy Keys on this project?
Yeah, Billy, that's it. It's just like the BOTB album. We work really quick together. He makes everything from scratch as well, so it's real easy. You don't have to worry about any of the licensing for things and stuff because he makes all the loops and things. He has the guitar riffs. He's got everything. He plays the piano. Super, super talented. So really easy to work with. But yeah, that video was wild. We were supposed to actually do a different video that day, and unfortunately, if you saw the end of the video, we need a little tribute to my friend Tom. Said he actually passed away where we were going to go shoot the video at. So when we pulled up, there was cops and all these other things going on over there. So I ended up shooting it somewhere else with a different project. But big shout out to Stop Silence Films as well, and EOI Media. Those are my guys. They do great work. Stop Silence worked with a lot of real big name artists, so I was very lucky to get him on the project, and the video turned out cool, man. Even we just had one location with it and everything, but it turned out looking great.
And I gotta say, man, did you ever actually have the idea to turn that song into a TikTok challenge? Because I gotta say, man, that song is just so catchy, man. You know what I mean? When I was listening to that song, man, I wanted to get up and do the Boogeyman Sway, in my personal opinion.
That's what I'm hoping for, man. I gotta figure out a better dance for or something. I gotta get busy with that. You're 100% right. It does be a thing.
And also as well, man, April 16th of 2021, you actually released a phenomenal six-track EP titled Hellbound. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about this project, and of course, do you have any hard copies available for those listeners that still do love those CD copies?
Yeah. So, actually, what I was gonna do with this project is we're gonna make vinyls out of it. So if you really like your music like that, that's how we want to do it. But yeah, Hellbound was a crazy one. I worked with a couple other producers in LA. Obviously, Billy Keys was on that one as well. But worked with Missionary Max and Wavely. There's a lot of really good local producers out here that just want to work and build. So that project came together real quick as well. And then my girlfriend did the album cover. So, yeah, very big day getting Kara Montana and Wavely, Missionary Max, Billy on the beat, helping put that together, man. That's probably one of my favorite ones. I enjoyed that one.
And I gotta say as well, man, that album, in my personal opinion, is absolutely phenomenal, man. I love the joint that you did, 3 Degrees.
Hey, that's one of my favorite ones, too. I actually really like that one.
And also, as well, man, earlier this month, I actually saw on Instagram that you had the opportunity to perform at the iconic Grand Theater. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that experience. And, of course, do you have any up-and-coming performances? That way our listeners can come out and see you perform live in person.
Of course. Obviously, I'd love to get across the pond and go see Canada and do all that once everything starts to open up and clear up. That's definitely in the plans. But yeah, it was really, really cool opportunity to play in a theater. I played in amphitheaters and other things like that, but I've never played in a theater. Like, just the setting of it is incredible. The sound's incredible. And yeah, it was a cool project that iBay Radio put together. Shout out to them. They did it on very, very short notice. They just got an opportunity and took it. And luckily, I mean, you saw some of the pictures. It turned out to be a crazy event. So, yeah, huge shout out to Mr. Snow. A huge shout out to everybody that helped put that together. The crew at Grand Theater is incredible. They were dealing with a whole bunch of people that had never really done anything like that before, but they kept it all organized, and it was a cool event. It was real fun.
And I have to ask, man, I know this might sound like a cliche type of question, man, but I obviously, you know, I'm a DJ, so I just stay behind the computer and ask the questions, man. But what was it like actually performing during a pandemic? What kind of measures did they have in play? And did it affect your performance performance at all?
So with the Grand Theater, we had mask mandates and whatnot. But in Utah, it kind of gets lifted and put back on and lifted quite often. So at that particular time, the mask mandate wasn't super necessary, but with the size of the theater, they were able to spread people out. I've done some other shows where it's a little bit different, where you have to have vaccination cards or proof of a negative test. So numbers definitely get a little bit smaller here and there. But yeah, as far as that goes, it ended up being not too bad. I think Utah is a little bit lax with everything that they do, so it was a little bit of a different feel, but yeah, it worked out good, and it seemed like everybody stayed safe, so it was a good little performance.
But I have to ask, man, what is next for yourself, Murderous T? Is there anything we happen to miss during this broadcast? Anything else you do still want to talk about or promote? Or we still got you here live on the 97.7 FM dial this evening.
Man, we got some other shows. If anybody's out in Cedar City, Utah, coming out there March 5th for the Astronauts Tour. Shout out to Big Mixer, AJ the Dread, and all them. Inviting me out. That's going to be a real fun one. We got some friends out in Cedar. And then we're going to come back to Salt Lake for a crossover show. I've been doing a lot of rock stuff. I hope you're ready for that. The next project's going to be mostly rock stuff. We'll be dropping a lot of singles, and I think after this next one, we're going to drop about a single a week. If guys, I've got enough work and projects and things, so we're probably going to start running up the singles. A lot of different sounds, a lot of different things. I mean, Murderous T just sounds for like, do everything big and you kill it. You know what I mean? So that's the mentality. Is that's what we're going to try and do. Just keep working, keep pushing, and get people the music they like to hear, man.
Hey, man, that's the best way to do it, man, you know? But also, this is the time in the interview, Murderous, that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves, just a chance to give, like, shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to, but most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything Murderous T if they're not already doing so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to say, well, of course, shout out moms. Always support me. Doing the best, doing the most, showing up, showing out. Thank you to everybody that listens to me. Shout out BeFrank, the microphone strangler. Shout out to everybody that has worked with me or has helped me out in any way. I appreciate everybody, of course. And man, there's so many people I could thank. So if you took a chance on me at all, I appreciate you. I wasn't even supposed to be here, you know. Shout out to you guys, of course, for giving me a call. It's crazy getting on the radio in Canada, man. I didn't know people's listening all over the place, you know. So that's always an appreciation to hear. Hey, man, I don't know, man. Thank you to everybody, man.
Hey, man, and I gotta say, man, if you can, man, drop them social media handles, man. I want to help make your socials blow the fuck up.
Of course, man. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Mop Top Murder. MOPTOP. MURDA. Yeah, Murderous T on all social, all music, so it's all caps, Murderous with a money sign and a T. But yeah, you can find me pretty much everywhere. We're going to go heavy on music videos this year, so make sure you tap in with me on YouTube, or find me on Instagram, man.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, Murderous, thank you so much, man, for just giving us a bit of your time here this evening and sliding into the 97.7 FM airwaves, man. It truthfully was an honor and most definitely a privilege, man. And hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon.
Hey, of course, man. Hopefully after the next project we can get another call in or something, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for giving me a call.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome, man. Definitely have yourself a wonderful night, man. We definitely shall talk soon.
Hey, you too, man. Thank y'all.